Hey guys! Welcome, my fellow magic enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the mystical world of witches, like broomsticks, potions, the whole shebang. If you've ever wondered about the history of witches, their connection to Halloween, or maybe even dabbled in a little cauldron action yourself, no judgment here, then buckle up. We're about to uncover 10 witchy facts that are sure to leave you spellbound. So grab your wands, your crystals, or whatever you use to channel your inner magic, and let's get witchy. Okay, so, picture this: ancient civilizations, right? We're talking way, way back, before Instagram, before sliced bread, before, indoor plumbing. Even back then, people were fascinated by magic and the supernatural. And guess who played a big role in all that? You got it, witches. Okay, so they weren't exactly flying around on vacuums or anything, but they were seen as healers, wise women, and the OG spiritual advisors. These ladies were in tune with nature, knew their herbs, and probably had some killer stories to tell. They were basically the cool aunts of their time. Okay, so we can't talk about witches without mentioning Salem. That's Witchcraft 101. It all went down in 1692 in a small town called Salem, where things got really dramatic really fast. It all started with a few girls acting a little sus, having fits and stuff, and instead of blaming it on some bad clams or whatever, everyone jumped to witchcraft. Suddenly it was like a game of who's the witch, and let me tell you, the accusations were flying faster than a witch on a broomstick. People were pointing fingers left and right. And before you knew it, over 200 people were accused and 20 innocent souls were executed. Talk about a bad hair day. Okay, let's be real. Witches in pop culture are everything. From the Sanderson sisters in Hocus Pocus to Sabrina the Teenage Witch, we've seen them all. And let's not forget the ultimate queen of darkness, Maleficent. We've got good witches, bad witches, sassy witches, and even some witches who just want to make potions and chill. Hollywood loves a good witch story, and honestly, who can blame them? Witches are mysterious, powerful, and, let's be real, they always have the best outfits. They're like the ultimate fashion icons of the supernatural world. So, you know how some people are into yoga or CrossFit? Well, some people are really into witchcraft. It's like a whole religion, but instead of worshipping a deity, they focus on their connection to nature, the elements, and the divine feminine. Wicca is one of the most well-known witchcraft paths, and it's all about positivity, self-empowerment, and respecting Mother Earth. They're like the eco-warriors of the spiritual world. They believe in things like karma and the power of three, and they often use spells and rituals to manifest their desires or connect with the divine. Okay, so throughout history, there have been some seriously badass women who were accused of witchcraft. These women were ahead of their time, independent, and probably scared the crap out of some people. Take Joan of Arc, for example. This French heroine claimed to have visions from God and led the French army to victory. But guess what? They called her a witch and burned her at the stake. Talk about harsh. Then you've got Mother Shipton, this legendary English soothsayer who was said to have predicted everything from the defeat of the Spanish Armada to the Great Plague of London. She was basically the OG Nostradamus, but with way better hair. Okay, so remember how we talked about Salem and how crazy things got? Well, buckle up, because Europe was basically Salem on steroids. We're talking centuries of witch hunts, trials, and a whole lot of paranoia. It was like the witchy equivalent of the Black Plague, but instead of rats, it was fear that was spreading like wildfire. From the 14th to the 18th centuries, tens of thousands of people, mostly women, were accused of witchcraft and met some seriously gruesome ends. They were burned at the stake, drowned, tortured, you name it, they probably did it. It was a dark time to be a woman, let me tell you, especially if you knew how to make a killer potion or had a pet black cat. Okay, let's talk about the iconic witch's broomstick. I mean, you can't have a witch without a broomstick, right? It's like peanut butter and jelly. Or like me and online shopping. But have you ever wondered why witches are always riding around on brooms? Well, legend has it that it all started with, wait for it, fertility rituals. Farmers would jump and dance with brooms in the fields, hoping for a bountiful harvest. And because witches were often associated with nature and herbs, They kind of adopted the broom as their own. But let's be real, riding a broomstick through the night sky sounds way more fun than cleaning the house, am I right? Okay, so every good witch needs a loyal companion, right? And that's where familiars come in. These furry or scaly or feathered friends were believed to be supernatural entities that assisted witches with their magic. Think of them like the witchy equivalent of a spirit animal, but with like way more magical powers. Cats were a popular choice because, let's face it, they're already pretty magical creatures. Have you seen them land on their feet? But witches also had owls, ravens, toads, and even snakes as familiars. Basically, if it was a little creepy and mysterious, it was fair game for a witch's familiar. Okay, so witches and herbs go together like, well, witches and broomsticks. They're basically the OG herbalists, using plants and flowers for everything from healing potions to love spells to, like, warding off evil spirits. Back in the day, knowing your herbs was like having a superpower. Witches used plants like lavender for peace and tranquility, rosemary for protection, and mugwort for, like, really vivid dreams. Basically, if you had a problem, there was probably an herb that could fix it. And you know what? They were probably onto something, because even today, people still use herbs for all sorts of things. So, you might be thinking, okay, witches were cool and all back in the day, but do they even exist anymore? And the answer is a big fat yes. Modern-day witches are everywhere. They're your barista, your yoga teacher, your next-door neighbor. They're just like regular people, but with a little extra magic in their lives. They might practice Wicca, follow their own unique spiritual path, or simply embrace the witchy aesthetic. They believe in the power of nature, the importance of intuition, and of course the magic that exists within all of us. They're basically living their best witchy lives. And there you have it, folks. 10 witchy facts that are sure to impress your friends at your next Halloween party. Or, you know, just make you sound super knowledgeable in casual conversation. Thanks for joining us on this magical journey. If you enjoyed these witchy facts, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more enchanting content. Until next time, stay magical.